Be for Good Leaders Declaration. As Be for Good leaders, we commit to reframe the meaning of leadership by 1. Embracing radical interdependence, the fundamental principle governing life on Earth, as the golden rule for decision-making, leading to a regenerative impact. 2. Considering at least the next generation of humans in every business decision. 3. Measuring what matters to integrate systemic value creation into our definition of profit. 4. Challenging extractive economic models and taking a stand for the common good. 5. Mobilizing finance as a catalyst to transform the business perspective from short-termism to long-term shared value creation. We commit to guiding our companies and organizations to create a purpose-driven model that creates value for all. Through this joint leadership statement, we lay the foundation for collective actions and alliances, clearing the path for a new, regenerative economy.
Come on.
Working? Yeah, good morning. Morning, everybody. So it's a pleasure, wonderful pleasure for all of you to be here. So Len and I and Koen Becking, we're going to make the first introduction. I'm going to say a few words. First word is, I'm really happy that we are here. I think you all know why we are here. We saw the declaration. All of us are trying to build a new capitalism. And here we are at the business school that is doing a new capitalism. So we're very happy, Koen, that we are here at your place. And there are 2 or 3 people I want to mention. First is Tom Cummings. Tom, please stand up. Tom was a visiting student here from the US, faculty member. He designed several programs at Nijrode, and actually was you, Tom. Tom is also formerly chairman of B-Lab Europe. And Tom organized a meeting with Koen Becking and others to talk about B Corps and Nijrode. So, Tom, thank you very much for being on this journey for all these years, and I'm sure we will hear from you later on. Thank you. Thank you. Second person is Annemieke Robek. Annemieke, 29 years. 29 years ago, actually, someone said to me, in 1994, there was a meeting at the castle where Pim Wimmick, the first B Corp in the Netherlands, put your money where your mouth is, invested in Ben & Jerry. And that happened in the castle at Nijrode 29 years ago. So you see that history. And so thank you, Annemieke, for being with us and on the journey. And the third person is Harry Hummels. So Harry, you need to stand up too. So I met, the second person I met when I came to the Netherlands was Henk van Lauk, who was a professor of business ethics at Nijrode. And Henk passed it on to Harry, the directorship of the European Business Ethics Network. So we've known each other since then, and you've been also on this journey, so thanks, Harry. Wonderful. Thank you. And I have 5 bullet points, very simple. Could we have the next slide, please? This is new. This is new, and Len and I, so you really know there's 2 bits of this. One is, the other night, someone said, can you say what you do in 1 line? And someone said, well, it's not so easy to say what you do in 1 line. And then suddenly, I sort of remembered 2 things. One is, Paul Polman said, his question is, how will the world be without your company? Will the world be different without your company? And then suddenly, Elaine reminded me yesterday, it's really quite scary, but exactly today, 22nd of November, 60 years ago, JF Kennedy was murdered in Dallas. And suddenly, of course, what Kennedy said, do not ask what America can do for you, but ask what you can do for America. So we connected Paul Polman and JF Kennedy, and we created this line. But this line is, ask not what the world can do for your company, but ask what your company can do for the world. So this is without planning it or wanting it, we created a one line for the day here. Hello, Lucas. And what we want to do, what we are doing with the cooperative going forward. So it's quite moving, but I think it just captures the spirit. Could I have the next slide? So the next slide, 5 points, and then I will introduce Koen Becking. First, it's a call to leaders to do their best for the world. I don't need to explain. We know what's going on in the world. We also know that what Lynn and I have experienced and done to the B Corp movement, there are thousands of people out there who are making a difference to their companies, family businesses, small businesses, large businesses. For me, this is the kind of bedrock of our society. So the core is for all of us to step up and do their best for the world. Secondly is the urgency of the moment. Again, climate, the decade of action. We know the challenges. We don't have time to wait. Someone, Christoph from Southport Carbon was saying to me, now I have to wait 2 years or 3 years before some certain standards are certified. We don't have 2 or 3 years to wait for standards to change. We have to act now. So the urgency of the moment. Thirdly, if not us, who? Meaning, this is in a way, I stand here now. Maybe 10 years ago, I couldn't have said it with the same conviction. We have 8,000 B Corps around the world, 25,000 benefit corporations, 260,000 companies using the B Corp impact assessment. We do have really a movement. So we just have to, which is the fourth point, let's organize, let's get organized. NGOs are organized, politicians are organized, big business is organized, but so the more progressive businesses like us are not really well organized. So let's organize, let's get organized. Fifthly, finally, global cooperative. What we started doing is not just a network, it's a cooperative owned by all of us together. And we will explain later. Here's a kind of a pictogram that explains the details of what it is. Basically, all of us together are members of the cooperative. The why, the how, the who. I will share this slide with you. 5 points, very simple. I'm sure that people never really remember everything, but the 5 points, we will repeat them again tonight when we close. Really, I think being here together at this moment and in this place, Nijrode, is very important because this is a place of learning, this is a place of business, and we want to work together in the years to come with you, with the alumni, with the faculty, in helping to shift the business world forward. So Koen, you're very welcome. Thank you. We want to hear from you. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Marcello. So I actually have 12 slides, but I'll only show you 2. It's a very important day today because all of you are here. Very warm welcome at Nijrode Business University. But it's also a very important day for democracy today. Right? As you may be aware of, today is election day. So it's a truly important day altogether. Our mission as Nijrode is to shape responsible leaders for a sustainable future. And we have actually added the sustainable future to our mission a few years ago. Our priorities are three. First of all, to have impactful research, right? So we're a business school, we want to make impact, we want to be a force for good. So impactful research. Secondly, transformative education. So we want to make a change through our education. So we want to use the education to make a change. And thirdly, we want to become a B Corp ourselves. So that's quite a challenge. Thank you. That's quite a challenge, but we're very well underway. Janne Anne is the leader of the whole project, but we're fully committed to make this foundation, because Nijrode is a foundation. We're not about making money. We're about the continuation of this beautiful institute for the next 75 years, right? So it was founded 75 years ago in Breukelen. That was established 375 years ago, Brooklyn. So this is the basis of Brooklyn, New York. And then finally, my final slide is about you and other leaders. So what we do is make a change through the education, so to have an impact on leaders and leadership behavior. We are actually trying to measure leadership behavior or a change in leadership behavior. I think that's very challenging, but we're doing it with our own faculty. Can we measure change in behavior? Because that is what it's all about. Secondly, through the leaders, we want to impact their organizations, and with their organizations, what is what you said, we make an impact on the world. So thank you and have a nice day.
I have the honor to close this opening and also close the closing later on. The joke about Brooklyn, Breukelen and Brooklyn, was laughed about yesterday by some of the guests. They thought, well, that is a nice joke. But it is true, actually. No, it's not a joke. I know that couldn't. So that is why I'm trying to tell the audience that some people who think it's a joke, it is true. I was not going to say that. I was going to talk about action, because there are many events like this, you know, many. But actually there are none like this. Because what we always said is there is not, the time for talking is over. The time for talking is over. You all know what's going on. You don't need to talk anymore about what's going on. You need action. You know that we need action. So that is why one of our stewards, because we are a steward-based organization, we have about 80 to 100 stewards and founding members, and we're very proud of that because we cannot do it alone, that they think with us. And that we spoke about one of the stewards, I spoke to one of the stewards, and she said to me, do you know why I support this? And I said, well, maybe because you like us. No, she not. Well, she likes us, but she actually supports us because she said that is one of the few places where there is action going on. And action means that you all do something. And that you change your company, that you make a deal. Yesterday, for example, on LinkedIn, there was a deal between Avantium and Albert Heijn. I know, and Marit was shaking hands with the guy, and it was about plastic bottles, a new kind of plastic. And that is, and that deal was born in Rome during the summit. And that's why we have these events. People meet, and leaders move stuff. That is why we say we want to be a community of leaders. And a leader can be anyone. People said, yeah, anyone can be a leader. Well, as long as you can make a decision, yes, you're welcome. But if you're a leader in your mind and actually you cannot make any decision, you have to go to the board and say, I want the budget next year, then that is not quick enough. We are in a hurry, as Marcello said. So action is in every event that we do is the core of what we want. So we are now organizing the summit again in Amsterdam next year. We expect 1,500 people, and it is all about action. Can you imagine if we invite people to come to a summit? Everybody calls us up, can I speak? Can I speak? Everybody wants to speak. We don't want that. So everybody thinks I'm important. What we want is that people say, you can speak, we give you 10 minutes. Tell what your action is, how you change your company. Otherwise, please don't speak. Listen. And that brings me to this slide. Well, actually, the next one, I thought I had more slides. Yeah, this is a very funny one that I have to tell you something. We want to build collectively a regenerative economy. You think, what is this picture? It's an exponential, regenerative, collective leadership. If you put that, Nativa was one of our important partners. They put these words into an AI system, and the system created this. So in 30 seconds. So that is very quick. So you see, you put the words in, and then you see, and then a picture like this comes up. And I don't know what it means, but it means, well, what it means is exponential, regenerative, collective. That's what it means. You immediately recognize it, don't you? Yeah. So, to end this and to pass it on, and then we really begin with Alexandra. I would like to go. I have to tell you a little bit about the program, because that is one of my jobs, and but you all have it in your hands, so I don't have to repeat it. But basically what we're doing in the morning, we listen to people, and then we go into an action mode in the afternoon in workshops. Initially, this was going to be a very small event for the inner circle, what we call. But then we saw many more people that were interested, so we invited them. So this grew to what we now have, about 200 people today who will come together and who work together, because that's actually, we want to know from you how you would build that. So that is basically the whole program. Serpent 2, we are introduced to some new B Corps during lunch. We will show you some of the systems later on. But what is the most important, I think, is that we all behave well. And that is, and you all to me look like people that behave well. Well, some maybe don't, but most of you behave well, I think. And that we respect each other, and that we can say, for example, I asked somebody, who did you vote for? That's already a difficult question in the Netherlands. Who did you vote for? I voted for that. So we can say everything here. This is a safe environment. We are friendly to each other. We listen to each other. And what is most important is that we have fun together. So have fun today.